Hi guys, it's Beth here again. Welcome back to another art activity. Today we're going to have a little go at doing this funny little donkey. The materials that you will need are a pencil and a rubber and some felt tips. I'm going to be using 3 shades of brown. You can use whatever you have, 1 or 2. You could even maybe mix in some oranges and yellows with it. So if you've got everything ready, we will make a start. So we're going to start by drawing the top of the donkey's head. So we're going to pop our pencil, we've got the paper portraits today. We're going to pop our pencil probably just over halfway up the page in the middle. And we're going to start off by doing little sketchy lines again. So if you need to rub out, obviously it's much easier if you've done your sketchy lines. So nice and light. Going to do a little line, just curve it slightly, and then we're going to start bringing it down. So as I'm coming down, it's just slanting a little bit out. I'm going to work both sides at the same time, and then we'll get it vaguely symmetrical. It's quite a wibbly wobbly donkey, so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. So don't worry too much. I'm going to start bringing this line in on the left now, and then we're going to curve this one round and down to meet it. Okay, so this line has just come in a little bit more than this side, and then curve it round. So this is going to form the donkey's head. Let's do his ears. He's got lovely long ears all flying up in the air, so we're going to put a little line that comes up from the top of his head, curve it up all the way up. You can make your donkey's ears as big or as long as you want them. So curve it up there, and I'm going to start off at the bottom. I'm going to start off quite thin, and then as we go up, I'm going to make this donkey's ears go a little bit wider out up to the top. There we go. So it's a really funny donkey, obviously not a realistic one. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Don't need to have the ears symmetrical, so we can make this one a slightly different shape, a little bit wobbly. I'm having them roughly the same height. Doesn't have to be perfectly the same. And then we'll start from the bottom, start it off narrow, and then take it up, and then up to join the top. Okay. So we've got our lovely, looks like horns at the moment, but they are his ears. We're going to do his body. His body's nice and simple. So we're just going to start at the top underneath the ears. Where we've got this little line coming out, we're going to just continue it down a bit and then start bringing it out like this on both sides again. Do them on at the same time, and then you can roughly work out where you need to go. So bring it down on both sides. Keep bringing it down. You can make your donkey as fat or as thin as you want. So then probably when you get to about half the distance of his face, that's where we want our donkey to stop. So we're going to bring it round, little sketchy lines again. It's quite a scruffy donkey as well, so don't worry about doing continuous lines. Little sketchy lines work much better for you. Okay, so we've got our basic shape of our donkey. We're going to pop his legs in now. So these legs are his front legs. So all that we're going to do for that is just 2 little lines for one leg. That's the bottom. On the other side, 2 little lines coming down for his other leg. Like that. I'm going to just rub out a little line there, because these legs are in front, and then we're going to do his back leg. So all I'm going to do for his back leg is another line and make it a little bit shorter, like that, and then another line on the left of this leg, level it up with the back leg on that side, and make that there. Alright, just going to pop some hooves in, so a little line for his hooves, like that. And let's pop his eyes in. So his eyes are going to be at the side of his head, underneath his ears and down a little bit, probably sort of towards the top of his body there. We're going to do one little oval on that side and then roughly in the same place on the other side. Okay, like that. Going to pop 2 little lines just for his nose down here. And then we're going to do a lovely smiley mouth, like that. Just ignore that funny little beep. Okay, right. Last little bit of drawing, and we're just going to give him a really scruffy mane. Here we go. So I'm just doing flicky lines, some long ones, some short ones. I'm making it a little bit longer down the middle of his face, and then a little bit shorter above his eyes, and then just some flicky lines in between his ears, like that. Just a little bit of texture in his fur, so what I'm going to do is just some little squiggly lines. Not doing them perfectly symmetrical. I'm just scattering them about on his fur. We're going to take them out of our original line and just give him a few little lines coming out, little squiggly ones, little straight ones. I'm going to put a few more in, just make it a little bit darker just around his face, and that helps his face just to pop out a little bit. So just a little bit of sort of shading now, just press quite lightly. And then I'm just going to put a few in his body. We're going to work over this in felt tips, so don't worry too much. A little bit of shading. Smudge it as well, if you want to give it a little smudge. Especially if you're not going to be putting the felt tips on. So, slightly darker underneath. And blend it in, smudge it in. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a few little squiggles in his ears, coming down his ears. Scribbly little lines, that kind of style. So not very neat, and then a couple on his legs, like that. I might just give him some little eyelashes at the top as well. If you're not using felt tip pens, obviously you'd want to shade in the eyes and just leave that little white highlight as well, like that. And we can just shade with our messy finger, just shade his face just a little bit, especially around the edge. Put a few little lines at the bottom. Just shade it in, make it a bit darker at the bottom and the sides, like that. We're just going to shade in his hooves very quickly, like that, and just ground him. So just going to put a little bit of ground underneath, a bit scribbly again. Put some grass if you wanted to, it's up to you. Okay, so that's pretty much the drawing that we're going to do. We're going to work with our felt tips now for the rest of it. So I'm going to start off with my lightest brown. So I'll get these ready, and I'm going to just pop in a little bit light brown, start at the top. So we'll do a bit of light brown on his ears, just in the middle and on this side. I'm going to do tiny little lines just down the side of his face. Just a little bit down the side of his face. And we're going to put some light brown into that mane, that scruffy mane. Flicking them out, so different lengths make it look really scruffy. like that. And then we're just going to add a little bit of light, so we'll do some scruffy hair, flicking out some wiggly lines. Use a combination. And put a few more under his chin, like that, just to make it a bit darker. Down his legs, like that. So that's my first colour. I'm going to get darker as we go. So my second colour, I'm just going to put a bit on the edge now of the ears, a little bit on the top edge, and on this side, just a little bit. I'm keeping my lines quite scruffy because that is the style, so we don't need to be too neat. And along the edge, and then we do the same on the bottom edge of the ear as well. So just little scruffy lines. There's no right or wrong really, so don't worry too much. I think whatever you do will look great. So a few little hairs now on his body, squiggles and flicky lines. A few more under his face again. I'm going to try and get that bit a bit darker. There we go, down his legs and in his hair. Don't forget about his mane. Okay, might put a little bit down the sides of his face as well, maybe outline it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to get my darkest brown. So we're going to try and give him a bit more shape because he does look a little bit flat, so the dark brown will just outline him, just make him pop a little bit more. So I'm using the dark, I'm using less of the dark, but thinking about where I'm placing it. So I'm going to put it around the edge. This just helps give him a bit more shape. Quite a lot, here we go at the bottom, and there we go. And I'm just blending in just a few in his body, like that. And then I'm just going to outline the side of his face a bit more and under his chin. Just help keep that face looking light. A bit around this side as well. And then a little bit on his ears, putting more down the bottom of his ear, and then a little bit again on the top. Same over here, some little flicky lines, like this. And in his hair, less now, just a few, not too many. Again, longer in the middle between his eyes. And just work over my nostrils and his smiley mouth a little bit as well. And then we'll just shade in his hooves. I'm using a dark brown. You could use dark brown, or you could even use a black. And then I'm going to just outline his legs, just bring them out a bit more. So back up, like that. Alright, and then I'm just going to put a little squiggly line just around, not continuous, just break it up a little bit and just outlining him a bit. I'll probably do his eyes black, but I'm just going to do them dark brown for now. But if you've got a black, I'd suggest you're probably best doing it black. And then I'm just going to, a little broken line just to outline his ears. Here we go. Same on this side. Little wibbly line. probably donkey. Okay, might just put a little bit of dark there. Outline his face as well. I'm just going to put some browns on the ground as well. I'm going to use all 3 shades. There we go. Right, so that's our felt tip pretty much done. It's time to add our water wash on now. So you could, if you like it like that, leave it like that, or we could be brave and use our water. So when you use your water wash, you don't need lots of water, you just wipe off the drips and just start off gradually. So don't put too much water on to start with. Start on the bigger spaces as well, so that you get to know how much water you need and how well your felt tips smudge. Different felt tips smudge at different levels, so you might have really smudgy felt tips, and sometimes you might have felt tips that don't smudge quite as well. So you need to just have a little practice maybe with your felt tips beforehand, just to work out how smudgy they are. Okay, so I'm just using my water just to blend them in a little bit. So working round the head, picking up the ink with my brush and then blending it down. I'm also picking up the ink and continuing with that sort of fluffy edge as well. And then just working over like that. I'm going to work down his legs. Okay. Now whilst I've got some ink on my brush, I'm going to just put a little bit of shading on the sides of my donkey. Just a little bit, and down the bottom. And then I'm going to wash my brush, wash all that ink off, and with my water, I'm just going to drag it in, so just blend it in a little bit, so it just gets rid of that harsh line. So it's still much lighter, but it's just got a tint of colour on it. Do the same with the ears. Work down. And on this side, dragging that ink down the ear. And we could do some extra little flicky lines as well with our brush. There we go. And then the last little bit, I just work over the grass, just a little bit, that ground. Just ground them out. Put some little flicks into your grass if you wanted. Okay, so I think there we have it, one finished donkey. I think he looks rather good. So I hope you all enjoyed drawing your lovely donkey. We'd love to see pictures, so do send them in to us. Got lots more activities planned, so we will see you again soon. Bye for now.